Hi everyone, Alex here. Thought I'd do a bit of a video. I found this site here, and this is kind of what sparked me to do this video. So generally, when I see sites like this, and I'm like, okay, they clearly know it has development potential, it immediately, my brain goes, oh well, if they know that, then they're probably going to want too much money. But at the same time, this is the kind of seller that knows it may have development potential and knows that no one's going to buy it unless the feasibility stacks up. So I have had people in the past, and I've actually had success with this myself, in going to these people and saying, hey, look, I want to buy your site. I can give you this much because this is how I get my 20% return or whatever percentage return that you want. And there's no real feasible way that anyone else should really be paying any more than that. And you'll take it off their hands now versus having to go through months and months and months of different buyers trying to, not get it for the right price. It is for an auction, so I don't know what difference that's going to make. Obviously, they're probably going to wait until that auction date to sell it. But if it doesn't sell at that auction, then you're going to be in a really good spot to buy it, I think. So before we say that that's a good spot to buy, let's have a look at it. So 5 Linda Street. Oh, that's 15. Nailed that. 5 Linda Street. Where is it? Kingston. 5 to 7 Linda Street, Kingston. Okay, so it's already that size lot. Yeah, interesting. It's very rare to find sites this size in Kingston, so that's surprising to me immediately. Contours, yeah, falls towards the front boundary. No easements, covenants, nothing. Let's have a look at the asset mapping. So on face value, this actually looks like quite a good site. Having the minimum front lot size of 400 and rear of 500, we can kind of quickly, let me get my calculator out. Actually, I'll do it on the screen versus using my phone. So 400 at the front, 500 at the rear. Yeah, times 2, you're going to get just under the minimum. So obviously those front lots are going to be pretty small because you're going to have a 4.55 meter wide access easement through the middle, and that includes the 400 square meters. So they'll probably only end up being 350 ish, or maybe even less, to build a house on. That said, that's plenty of room to build a house these days. Probably wasn't 10 years ago, but these days it certainly is. Is this loaded yet? What's going on? Oh, it's loaded just as I refreshed it. Of course. Alrighty. So this is the Logan asset mapping. So this has all of the water and sewer assets. To my knowledge, Logan don't have a map for their stormwater, which is a bit of a shame. That's probably because there is no stormwater assets in Logan. So that's perfect. You can see that there's water and sewer running directly along the front of the site. So probably the only last thing to do here is I like to always go have a quick look on Google just to have a look where it is. It might be next to a jail or something, so it's always good to check. Above ground power, that is a huge bonus. Doesn't look like the most beautiful street, unfortunately, but that may change with this development. Otherwise, yeah, you got a. Oh, yeah, okay, it's right near Wembley Road, so it's not a bad spot. Definitely not in the depths of Kingston, which is good. Near Kingston Road, pretty good access to all these shops. You've got the train station right here, and there. So it's actually a pretty good spot. Pretty close to the highway too, as you can see. It's the highway over here near IKEA. So yeah, we'll include that one this week, definitely. And like I said, if you can negotiate with them, then okay. So interestingly, they reckon you can only do 1 into 3, which you can definitely do 1 into 4. So that would actually give you a pretty decent competitive edge when you're negotiating it. So obviously they're saying keep the existing house and do a dual occupancy on here, which I mean it's not a bad idea, but why would you do a dual occupancy with 2 units when you could do 2 lots? And if you can fit it on there, you could do 2 lots with a granny flat on each. So you could kind of honestly, you could turn this one lot into house and granny flat on every single property. So you can turn one property into 8 rental incomes. Um, so definitely something to be, thinking about in your feasibility. If you're trying to buy it and just develop and sell the land, obviously it's different. But if you're trying to buy it and hold it, then there's potential to build 8 dwellings here. So bit of a cracker of a site. And the amendments to the regulation later this year, where they could drop those exemptions, doesn't matter in Logan because they still have the definition of an auxiliary unit anyway. So you can build a secondary dwelling and rent it out regardless in Logan. So happy days. Anyway, I'll include this one in this week's site finding and I'll keep looking for the next one. Cheers.